What's going on, everyone? It's Mike. It's John back. Didn't even give him chance to talk then. He's literally sat down, jumped straight on it. John, let's just get straight into this, right? I've got football. So, how happy are you with last night?
Well, I don't know why you can come on so happy and laughing and joking. To be fair.
It's because I'm playing football, mate. I like football.
Well, can you play up front?
Saying
that, to be fair, I've seen you miss easier chances, so we can't really say nothing.
Mate, my chance was definitely harder than Barry's.
Right, let's get into it. Listen, it's going to be a negative video, so if you don't want one of them, switch off now, because I'm not being funny. There's not much to be positive about. I've just been looking at the league table. Everton have won 3 games this season out of 10. Burnley have won 3 out of 10. They're third bottom, we're 14th. They've only lost 1 more game than us. So there's a lot of people. I don't know what you've thought of social media today. There's still quite a few people who are split on where we're going and how we feel about our football club. But listen, mate, I'm worried. You know, as I say, we're 2 points from third bottom. We've got a Fulham game coming up at the weekend. And then we've got an informed Man United game after the international break. So I think we've got to be very worried, mate, because what worries me even more is for the first half hour last night, it looked like there was only one team going to win that game. And then for the last 15 minutes of the first half and the whole of the second half, I'd honestly say that's one of the worst halves of football. And I might be exaggerating here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Last night's second half was probably one of the worst halves of football I've seen. Everton under David Moyes, 2 tenures. That's how poor it was. We couldn't string a pass together. Again, I'll say it again, his substitutions were shocking. I'm sure we're going to talk about them because now, mate, 20 hours later, 21 hours later, I still can't get over the fact that Dwight McNeil come on that pitch last night. That, for me, has tipped me over the edge.
I mean, we might as well end the debrief now, to be honest. I mean, you've nailed it. But look, ultimately, look, I'm not worried of relegation. I'm not. But it's the fact that this team has got potential. Like, there is genuine potential in that team, and there's just no one to put the ball in the net. The defending's poor. It's a mess. Tarkowski last night, you know, I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, you know, it's just instinct. He puts his foot out. You know, a former Premier League defender called it out last night, says the only player that's behind you is your goalkeeper, yet you've put a foot out and deflected it, and he's done it twice this season. You know, the striking from Barry. Look, Barry went off last night and he was sad. I quite liked the fact.
So was I.
Yeah, I quite like the fact that he was sad when he come off, because ultimately I don't think he should have come off. And people were saying, oh, you know, he was on a yellow card, Mike, he should have come off. Mate, we've played with players with yellow cards all season. We've had centre halves on yellow cards all game. You don't see them being subbed off. There was no reason to sub him off last night. And Beto, as a result, I think had 3 touches of the ball in that second half.
Shocking.
It was appalling from Moyes, to be honest. And look, I've said it time and time again. I have literally said it time and time again. I've had people saying, I smoke up Moyes' arse. I will be his biggest fan. I will be his biggest fan. I love David Moyes. I absolutely love him. But, mate, this season, time and time again, he's got it wrong. He's got his in-game tactics wrong. I think he set up the team wrong. And ultimately, last night, he set the team up right. We were 1-0 up. We could have scored after 6 minutes. We hit the post. Barry had that shot. He should have scored. We should have been 2-0 up going at half-time. But ultimately, he then got it wrong after. So his in-game management last night was atrocious. He didn't change it, whereas Sunderland did. He didn't change the formation. He didn't put an extra man in midfield when we were getting overrun. We were leaving gaps. Drewsbury wasn't in the game. It was just a poor second half that he didn't react to. So we set the team up right, brilliant. But that's only half your job as a manager, and he got the second half completely wrong.
Out of a percentage of 100, how much behind Moyes are you?
At this moment in time?
Yeah.
So at the start of the season, 100%.
No, now.
65.
Well, I'm telling you now, mate, I've just been thinking there. David Moyes, if he sees this contract out, will have been at Everton, all in all, for 13 and a half years, right? Not won a trophy. I don't think he's ever won away at Chelsea. He's never won away at Arsenal. And I don't think he's ever won away at Anfield. I think that's the stats I've seen today. In 13 and a half years, if he doesn't bury that burden that's hanging over him of winning away at them teams. Now, I don't see David Moyes winning a trophy at Everton in this tenure. Do you?
At this moment in time, mate, I don't see us winning the game of football.
And this is the thing, mate. Right? And do you know, Frankie threw something at me today.
Was it a spoon?
Out of the biscuits, out of the points we've picked up this season, which is 12, right? How many of them points have we deserved?
We've said this all season, mate. In every single game we've won, you could have argued that we could throw the points away or we didn't deserve.
So we haven't played well. We haven't played well this. Have we played well this season for like 90 minutes, even an hour? Even an hour? We haven't played well for an hour.
No.
And the thing is, mate, and again, I'm going to go back to it again. He is absolutely killing Tyler Diblin's confidence and Tierno Barry's confidence. Now, I don't know what's going on with Diblin. We did hear something the other week, me and you, but we're not going to say nothing about that. But no way in God's given earth of Tierno Barry being substituted last night, mate. And I don't give a shit if he was on a yellow card. Fucking hell. And I don't care if he missed from 2 or 3 feet out. He was in the right place to have that chance. He gave us more last night than what Beto did when he come on by a million miles, mate. A million miles. And we spoke about it on the match reaction. There was late on in the game, Everton had 2v2, right? I think our furthest players forwards were either Idrissa Gana Gueye or Tim Idaboom and Charlie Alcaraz. Beto was in the halfway line, mate. Halfway line.
I don't even think he was there. I don't even think he was there. It looked like he was in our defensive line.
Mate, so for me, he doesn't know how to play as a centre forward, mate. He hasn't got the central forward now. I used to play up football. I played, as I've said before, a half-decent level, not your level where you played. When I played up front, mate, my first thought when we had the ball was get further up the field. Get further up the field. Get in the positions where I should be in case a chance falls my way. He's fucking jogging, mate. It's not even in our half when we've got 2 midfielders. The furthest 2 players forward when it's 2v2. Now, that is terrible tactics by Moyes because I don't know what he's told Beto. But for me, Beto's the biggest to blame, mate, because instinctively, if you're a centre forward, mate, and you're on the attack, you should not, 9 times out of 10, be behind the likes of a Idrissa Gana Gueye or a Tim Idaboom or a Charlie Alcaraz. You should be in front of them. It's not fucking rocket science, mate.
And do you know what's come at the back of that, by the way? In my opinion, you know, people all have different opinions. But I've seen a lot of people on social media say we missed Decore. Right, now, I do not believe we missed Decore. I'm saying it out there. I do not believe we missed Decore. But in the 95th minute of that game...
He would have been up there yesterday.
Correct. He would have got up there yesterday. We saw it at Forest last season. He scores a goal right at the end of the game simply by being a lung buster. Running. I'm slightly concerned there isn't a player in our team that can do that. And people have been saying, we missed Decore for that reason. Now, I don't know if there's a replacement in our team who can do that. I don't know if there is someone who's got that level of energy. But the biggest disappointment for me was that was yet another game where we didn't even get a shot off when we were 2v1. We didn't even get a shot off. Alcaraz slowed the game down, who, by the way, I actually thought was all right when he come on, by the way. You know, a bit of energy. Him and Idaboom, a bit of energy, getting on the ball, trying to get forward. No issue with that. But he doesn't make the pass. Ghana is in... the Idrissa Gana Gueye is in the middle. He doesn't make the pass. And that Everton could have come out of the stadium like last night with 3 points. Undeserved, because I also will say, by the way, you know, I know lots of people have spoke about the whole Michael Keane thing. I think that's a penalty. I've seen it back. I think it's a penalty to Sunderland. There'll be lots of Everton fans that disagree. You might disagree. But to me personally, having seen what I've seen this season in terms of what is given as a penalty, especially for against Everton, I thought we got away with one last night.
I was just going to say, I think we got away with one, and I've watched it back. And last night I was unsure if that's given for you, or if that decision it goes in Everton's favour, then we're screaming for a penalty. If that's us, right?
Yeah, you're not arguing with it, are you? If it's
No.
given, you're not arguing.
So my next point I wanted to make is, which is what I pointed out to you today. We've spent nearly £100 million in the summer on Tierney Barry, Tyler Diblin, Adam Asnew, Charlie Alcaraz. I don't know what the keepers cost, and Kieran Dewsbury, all probably over 100 million. Now, the squad of players when David Moyes come in, compared to what we're watching now, with Kieran Dewsbury, all with Tyler Diblin, he's in the squad, so I'll include him. Adam Asnew hasn't been given much. Charlie Alcaraz is getting minutes most weeks. Kieran Dewsbury, all, and Jack Grealish. Do we look any better than what we did when David Moyes first walked through that door?
No, we look worse.
Over £100 million, mate. So who's that on? There's two reasons for that. One, he doesn't know his best 11 and he hasn't got a clue. Or number two, well, I'll give you three reasons. Number two, he doesn't know where to play them. He doesn't know where to play players in their own positions. He makes like-for-like substitutions, or he brings Charlie Alcaraz on last night and plays him on the right wing, mate, when we've got a £42 million player warming the bench again. Now, we're not going to see anything of Tyler Diblin to tell us if he's settled into it, if we're not seeing it, mate. We're not seeing it. And I'm telling you now, I think I can't even remember my third point now. My third one was, and we said this last night, how many of them are David Moyes' signings, mate?
But that's the problem, right? It sounds terrible, right? But I don't know who to moan at. I don't know whether it's David Moyes I moan at. His in-game tactics I moan at Moyes all day. Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know whether these players are David Moyes', so I don't know whether to moan at David Moyes because the players aren't working, they're not playing, they're not adding anything. You know, Tierney Barry was pulled off crying last night by the looks of it. He didn't even want to speak to Moyes, he was fuming. Tyler Diblin, player I wanted, hasn't done very much when I've seen him, if I'm being honest. But he's also not being given the games to demonstrate anything. And the other thing I would mention about Tyler Diblin is we played against Sunderland last night. The team that everyone thought at the start of the season was going to get relegated 20th bottom last. Everyone thought that. And then they made a few signings and we thought, right, they'll give it a go, but ultimately they'll go down. He chose to play Dwight McNeil, who is a championship footballer at absolute best, in front of him. A player that wanted to move on loan, didn't want to play for Everton by all accounts, ended up not getting a move away. He ends up choosing him over Diblin. And then on top of that, James Garner, when he goes to right back, all of a sudden we're back in the game because there's those legs in midfield with Tim and with Alcaraz trying to change the game, trying to take the ball forward. We've seen it from Tim a few times this season. He's got on the ball, he's managed to turn and get himself into a bit of space. Mate, if we're not going to play with energy and intensity for 90 minutes, you're never going to win a game of football. And the point I'm making is you make your substitutions when you actually need to make them. Not right at the end of the game. You make them at 55, at 60 minutes, at half time. You make them when they're going to make a change. You don't do it when the game's gone and you're trying to just see it out. You don't do that. It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't care whether they were David Moyes signings or not. You know, I know, and every Everton fan knows that we should be seeing Tyler Diblin over Dwight McNeil. Now, whether Tyler Diblin was a David Moyes signing or not, if he's got anything about him as a Premier League football manager, he should be bringing Tyler Diblin on before Dwight McNeil. And if he's got anything about him as a football manager, and listen, I've said so many times on this channel that I'm unsure if Barry's got it for the Premier League. I'll hold my hands up, right? What I seen last night while Barry was on that pitch, yes, we seen a glare and miss. Yes, we seen him get booked. But we also seen him do more than Beto's done. What Barry done last night, in all the minutes added up from the last 2 games he's come on or started, more than what Beto has all season, in my opinion. In my opinion, Barry's done more in the last two games that he's been involved in than what Beto's done. So again, if David Moyes has got anything about him, he should not be taking Tierno Barry off when we're watching fucking Beto. Because I'm telling you now, mate, he is dog. And I think it was about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I was like, no, play Beto. Just play Beto. We've seen him have a purple patch. No more, mate. I don't want to see, and I'm going to say it now, I do not want to see Beto or Dwight McNeil in an Everton shirt again.
Yeah, they're appalling last night, John. They're appalling, both of them. The moment they come on, the amount of times Dwight McNeil give the ball away. And look, I don't just think it was them two. You know, the only player for Everton last night that was good was Idiman and Jai. Oh, and Michael Keane kept us in it a few times as well, by the way. You know, header off the line. I think there was a couple of blocks. There was certainly a block in the first half.
I'll add to that, Barry.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Barry should have scored. We know that. But I'm telling you now, what we see, when we got that goal last night through Ndai, Barry started that by his tenacity, getting away from 2 or 3 Sunderland players, bringing the ball away and playing it to Iliman Ndai. Barry started that move last night. He laid the ball. Don't get me wrong. Great goal by Ndai. He had loads to do, which we seen. He'd done it, and he was fantastic. It was a brilliant goal. But Barry started that goal. Now, I'm telling you now, you don't see Beto doing that. You don't see Beto doing what Barry done last night to set that goal up. So I don't want to see Beto or McNeil ever again in an Everton shirt, mate. I'm done with them too.
Barry won headers, especially before that miss. I think you could say that the confidence had gone a little bit, but he was winning headers at the start of the game. He was running onto the board. He was trying to be strong. The ball was going into his feet, and he was trying to hold it up. He was tenacious for the goal. You're right. He was battling hard. He got the ball out of his feet. All of those positive things. Now, look, after he missed that chance, did his confidence drop? Yes, but that's gonna happen. He's 22 years old. He should have been on that pitch to fix that. If you get what I mean.
I said that last night to right his wrongs.
Yeah. We've seen better. We've seen better, and we've seen McNeil.
You've said here a couple of times on this video. I've picked up on it that you've said about you could see that the confidence had drained out of Barry. From when Barry missed that chance, and from when Grealish hit the post, I don't think any players played with confidence. I just don't think it was Barry. I think every player went missing after Ndai scored the goal. Did he do much? What we know he's capable of?
We had one shot after 28 minutes, and that was
He put a thing on Sky, didn't he? Out the last 10 shots, Sunderland had 9. We'd had 1.
We had 1. It was Mikalenko from 25 yards.
Well, I'm telling you now. Do you think? I'll ask you a question now. I can't remember if I asked you this last night. Is Saturday a must-win for David Moyes? Or do you think he gets Saturday and the Man U game?
I think, to be honest, mate, these freakins are ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
So the answer is I don't know. I would be surprised if he doesn't get January.
I think we'll be too far afield from them, mate, with the tactics he's deploying.
It depends. You know, if you think, if the Friedkin group and Everton fans think that if we keep David Moyes until the end of January and we're going to go down, then they'll make a change before then. But I don't think we're going to go down. So I don't think the Friedkin group are going to do huge amounts to change anything.
We know as a fan base, I wouldn't say machinery, but owners in the past have took on board what Everton fans think. And Everton fans are very, very good at making their feelings known. Now, I'm telling you right now, mate, yeah, David Moyes has got a lot of Everton fans to their heart. He has. You're one of them. I'm losing it. I'm losing it with him. If we get beat on Saturday, mate, and it's a poor performance, I think the fans turn Saturday, mate. I think if that happens on Saturday, we've spoke about how quiet the Hill Dickinson Stadium is. No, if Everton, and it's a big if. I'm just, using it as an example. Not saying we're going to get beat. If we get beat, mate, it's going to be the loudest you've heard Hill Dickinson Stadium on Saturday come that full-time whistle.
Yeah. Oh, the Spurs game was bad. So, yeah, mate. Well, I don't doubt that. Look, I think there's loads of things we could dissect, mate, but I just feel like we're going to go around in circles. I think, I don't think there's huge amounts to add. I think for me personally, it's absolutely imperative for both this Everton team, fans, and David Moyes that we win on Saturday.
It's imperative.
With a good performance. It can't be a poor performance. It's got to be a good performance. So that's where my head's at, mate. I don't know about you, mate. You can see out the video, but that's where I'm at. That's where
listen, I think, I've been negative again and I can't help myself. But as people have put in the comments, be yourself. I am being myself. When we're winning, last season when David Moyes come in, mate, and the run of form we had, I was like a dog with two dicks. I was positive every video we done. I've got nothing in me. And while he insists on picking the same 11 week in, week out, apart from one change last night, now I think he puts Beto in again on Saturday, me, because of the way Barry sulked. I honestly think David Moyes will hold that against Barry, and that's a shithouse trick if he does, because there's no way on God's given earth Beto should be starting over Barry, and I don't think any of them are much good. But he's got to, and we said it about this game that we've just had, start throwing curveballs, put James Garner at right back, bring Charlie Alcaraz in from the start. We seen it work last night. Give Tim a run out, even give Merlin roll. But David Moyes, realistically, on Saturday, if he starts Barry, could easily make another 3 changes to that starting lineup.
Yeah.
Easily. But I don't think he does.
Well, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed the debrief. Hit the like and subscribe, everyone. We will be back either tomorrow or the day after for another installment of Blue Boys Network. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching the watch along last night. First time in a long time. A lot of people have said they want to see more from us, so we'll try and make that happen. But yeah, until then, up to toughness.